My boyfriend went to Mexico without me and update. I read your comments and I agree. Last night he continued to say he won't let any woman challenge him or disrespect him like I was apparently doing. I told him I won't accept this as I need to be able to discuss how I feel. I told him he is continuing to flip this on me and I find it very sad he can't apologize or communicate properly with me. He said he can go really far and just stop contacting me. I asked him to stop acting like this and understand I am hurt over this. He said he didn't care, that I was still challenging him. He hung up and wouldn't pick up the phone. So I blocked him on my phone every single other app as well. I also removed the friends he is with on vacation. He can go be single and come home to an empty place. After the overwhelming response I made my decision. I've had a good sleep and time to calm down. I realize this isn't the man for me and not someone I could ever marry. It's sad but it's best it happened now after a few months in versus a couple years down the line. Thank you everyone. I wish I could give you hugs. Alt 24F, cut the BS. My boyfriend, 26M, went to Mexico with a group of friends alone. I could not afford the trip due to university. I encouraged him to go have fun on this trip and suggested some spots I had visited before. Up until the trip, everything seemed good. The same group of friends going to Mexico, I have met previously twice. They all spoke a different language, Russian, but I made some decent acquaintances. But I also made some enemies. To be quite frank, I have been against this one girl. She and her close clique have been quite cold since I showed up at the first party. She has a crush on my man from what I've witnessed, her leaning on him and kisses on the cheek at the bar to attempting to drag him away from me to dance. And what he's told me, she has a huge crush on him and it's created issues in past relationships. I've had my guard up. Anyhow, tonight I received a FaceTime. It was that same girl and her BFF calling me from my boyfriend's phone, saying he was in jail with his friend. I kept calm for 1 million while internally flipping SHT and then my boyfriend appeared on the phone. He told me it was a joke. But that his friend was actually in jail without him. I was very upset he did this. I told him he made me feel hurt and disappointed in him after he promised me no drama and that she wouldn't be involved in our lives. He then told me I was attacking his character. He said I should never challenge him like this and insult his character. I told him I was disappointed in him and I thought he would make better choices. He took that as disrespect. Was I really doing that? Would you personally put up with this? Is this disrespect? If so, I may have a lot to learn, in which I will do so more than willingly. Thank you in advance. Too long did not read. Boyfriend went on vacation and involved unwelcome girl in our relationship. I feel it is disrespect and he won't apologize. He now says I am disrespectful and won't allow a woman to challenge his character. How do you feel? That girl sounds trouble, and if he knows already how she is, why does he bother having her around? And that wasn't disrespect from you to him. Your boyfriend sounds like a knob and a fool. He's even admitted that she's caused issues in his last relationships. He now says I am disrespectful and won't allow a woman to challenge his character. He's the disrespectful one and allowing another woman to be disrespectful of your relationship. I think as long as he's friends with her he's not going to have any long relationships. I'll be blunt. Let her have him. A man that is willing to act like this and tell you the things you said he told you in your comments aren't worth it. Let her have him. I think it was a very distasteful joke. Put him in the bin and find someone who isn't a disrespectful cunt. He sounds like a misogynistic dumpster fire. He just told you that you're not allowed to call him out if he does something that bothers you. Ha ha ha, no. That's not how relationships work. He doesn't see you as an equal clearly. That girl is around because your boyfriend likes the attention and the idea of two women fighting over him. Is that the kind of person you want in your life? I'd be furious. Tell him to kick her out of his life. She has no use being there, not even as a friend. As friends with no boundaries. He's in a relationship and he's not acting like it. Keeping a guard up shouldn't even be necessary. He needs to put his foot down and tell her to back off and not to get snuggly with him. If he refuses, I would leave. My husband claims he'd leave me if he wanted to, but I just found evidence of an emotional affair. A woman's intuition is 100%, in my opinion. My husband and I have been married for over 25 years. For over 25 years, I've heard about how he met me as the result of a terrible blind date that ended with a Playboy bunny stripping down on a park bench and trying to seduce him. He claims he swore off women at that moment, until he met me the next day. Fun fact. This girl ended up pregnant, and he made sure she had an abortion, as he and I were dating at the time. I found this out after we'd been together 3 months. Last month, I heard my husband explain to strangers that he met me dancing in a pole in a strip club. He claims he meant it as a joke, but his girlfriend before me was a frequent Playboy Mansion guest, and because of that I bristled at that story. We've been married over 25 years now, so my reaction took even me by surprise. I quelled my emotions until the next morning. At that point I let him know how much it hurt me for him to describe meeting me in such a crass way, especially since it hit pretty close to home as how he met the girl before he met me. He became livid with me and told me he hadn't been in touch with her since the 90s, and made me feel like shit for overreacting. Come to find out, they've been texting and trying to meet up over the past 6 months. Usually the meetings were initiated by my husband when I was out of town. My parents are both old and sick, so I visit them individually in different cities for long weekends. I now realize that I was never really overreacting, but rather I intuitively felt what was going on. I think I'm a victim of gaslighting, and after 26 years of marriage I'm sad and confused. I can't tell this to any of my friends, because we only have mutual couple friends. What's my next step? I have discovered and documented 6 months of correspondence that coincides with my out-of-town travel plans, which definitely proves that he lied when he said he'd never talked with her since their abortion in the 90s. I'm so hurt and confused right now. Update. I just filled out an online form and requested the best divorce lawyer in town. She's a bulldog divorce attorney who represented my husband's first wife, and I believe she greatly dislikes and maybe even has a grudge against my husband. Grin. Wow. What a piece of SHT your husband is. He's been lying to you for 6 months. It's time to get out. You deserve better, and he doesn't respect you in front of other people. You should try to find someone who will treat you well and respect you. Get rid of the garbage. Divorce. Save and document everything you found. Divorce on grounds of adultery. Get STI, STD checked. Let everyone know he's scum. I am really sorry. I can't imagine the hurt you're feeling after being together for 25 years. Your next step depends on what you want. Do you want to confront him? Go to counseling? Try to save this marriage? Or do you want to gather up your evidence, walk away from him and never look back? If you're not sure, then find a counselor to help you work through this and come up with a plan. Good luck to you. I know this is hard, but you'll be okay either way. Know that. Personally, I don't like he made her abort. If they talked it through and mutually agreed, fine. The fact that he is lying is another problem, and that he lies to people around about how you met and probably more. I'm guessing you don't want to stay with him? You can contact a lawyer and ask what steps you can take, especially since he did emotional affair and by looks of it would want to go further. Prepare for river of bad words if you tell him, cuz he just sounds like that kind of guy who would belittle you. Consult with the best divorce attorneys in town. Most attorneys give free 15-minute consultations so you can figure out whom you want to work with. Speak to as many as possible so that none of them will be able to work with your STBX. It'll be a conflict of interest. I can't tell this to any of my friends, because we only have mutual couple friends. INB4 He goes to those friends before you do, and spins them all a yarn about how horrible you are. He wants control, so why wouldn't he use others to control you? He can go fuck himself. Confrontation is an enjoyable idea, but you know he ain't going to react in a way that will give you peace. What will give you peace is a lawyer, and changing those couple friends into your friends. He won't even notice, considering he can only think with his dick. Go get a lawyer. Document everything. Not just the cheating but also every financial document, your savings, etc. Make sure you have solid advice, and then kick his ass out. I also will document his conversations with your mutual friends. Why would my boyfriend of over 1.5 years say this to me? He said the following. I went to a party yesterday and was close to kissing a girl but didn't. He also said, I'll probably end up cheating on you. Why would he say those horrible things to me? He wants to break up with you but doesn't have the balls to do it, so he's trying to get you to do it. Do yourself a favor and dump him. He shouldn't say things like that. My opinion is he is saying it to try get higher ground over you or to control or manipulate you. Be careful. He's trying to see your reaction to see how far he can push your boundaries. Because they're true. He wants to break up but he's saying hurtful things so you'll break up with him. Alternatively, he's seeing what he can get away with. If you don't break up with him after he so clearly tells you that he's thinking of cheating, He'll be able to do whatever he wants because he will think you'll accept any treatment. Either way, if he says these things, I advise you say it's over. He should be your ex by the end of the week and don't give him any. So when he does cheat on you, which he will, he can say, "I told you this would happen," and use it against you as an excuse as to why you shouldn't be upset. He's telling you exactly who he is. Listen. When people say things to their partners that they know will jeopardize their relationship, believe every single word. He's being real with you and letting you know he's not ready to be with one girl. What you choose to do with this information is up to you. When someone tells you that they will end up cheating on you, believe them. My significant other wants to skip condoms, but I am too paranoid to trust her birth control alone. My significant other, F18, and I, M19, are long distance and visit each other every now and then. Naturally, we have our private moments when this happens. I have only ever used condoms for protection. It is the safest way to go about the deed, and I have never experimented with any other form of contraception. The issue is, she doesn't want to use them because she gets less enjoyment out of them. She is on birth control, pill, and takes it on the dot every day of the hour without fail, so she takes her birth control flawlessly. She tells me it will be all right and there is nothing to worry about, but I am not at all sure how well I can trust the birth control, especially because we do it lots when we see each other. Can I trust her birth control? Or should I keep my foot down and use condoms as well? I can't find any solid information on this miraculously. Too long did not read. My girlfriend wants to trust the pill, but I am paranoid and want to use a second and less enjoyable form of contraception with her. Edit. 2 things I should have mentioned. My girlfriend doesn't like the condoms cause she likes the finishing inside part. Obviously with condoms you can't do that. Also, I should clarify that I am open to the idea of just using the pill, but I am very nervous. She isn't pressuring me or anything like that and will use condoms even if it's not her preference. Dude, it's your body, it's your dick. Keep wearing condoms if you want to. That's not up to her at all. Yo young buck. I'm 29 myself. I have an 8-year-old because I didn't ask the question you're asking right now. Use the condom. If you do decide to stop using condoms, I'd recommend discussing what you'd want to do if accidental pregnancy happened. 2 forms of contraception is better than 1. Try the ultra-thin kind and see if she likes those better? Do not do that shit, bro. I did this last year and even though she was on birth control I got her pregnant. So unless you're okay with being a father or unless you both have enough money to get an abortion, don't take the chance. Birth control is the responsibility of those who don't want kids. If you don't want kids, it's your responsibility. If she doesn't want kids, it's hers. So basically if neither one of you want kids, both of you will use some sort of a protection. You are still young, not even married, don't give up on this safety option. 2 BC methods are safer than 1, and in this case, you control your own life. Smart. I just had a daughter while using BC. Pull out and use condoms too. Personally, my boyfriend and I stopped using condoms when I went on the pill. We don't like condoms, and the pill when taken correctly, which I do, has a less than 1% chance of failing over the course of a year. Obviously wearing a condom will add extra protection on top of that, though. To me, given that the risk of me becoming pregnant is already so small, it's not worth it, but it may be different for you and it's your choice.